I'm really excited. It's going to be a really good challenge. They got one of the best pass rushers in the country, and I think they got a ton of other really good players too. So it's going to be really cool to kind of challenge ourselves against the best. I think we've played some really good defenses already too. So I feel confident about where we're at. I think at the end of the day, I believe in our offense, and I think our offense is one of the best in the country as well. So it's going to be a really good battle of two really good teams.
What does Will Anderson do specifically that you see that makes him so effective?
I think he's really fast. He's got a really good get off. He's very twitchy, and he's big. He's massive. He's super long, and yeah, he's definitely a freak athlete, and and he's a smart football player too. So and then they got number 15 on the other side to balance him out. I think he's a really good player too. They got a really good front, but I believe in my O-line, and I know that they're gonna be up for the challenge, and I'm excited to see them take on these guys because it's gonna be a challenge, like I said. But I believe in them, and I think our O-line is one of the best units in the country, and I think they're gonna do really good things.
You talked about, I think, a couple weeks ago when we talked about maybe helping recruit some of the guys to stay, and that you've kind of been in touch with Colin. Your offensive line is in kind of a unique position in that you got three of them that are seniors and another one who has an opportunity to go to the draft. How actively have you tried to keep that group together?
I've been trying pretty hard. I love those guys, and we got a special bond, between just them and the quarterbacks, the running backs, those guys, so that would be really big to get those guys back, and I've been trying really hard to keep them around here because not only are they really good players, they're really good character guys too, and just being able to hang out with them off the field, it's a special group. And when a quarterback and O-line can be on the same page and truly love and care about each other, man, it's special, and I want to keep that going, and I've been trying, and I've been talking to Coop over there and all those guys, and I'm pleading my case, and I hope it works out.
There's five of you guys up here, but two of them are receivers this is probably their last game, or will it be their last game? But RJ Garcia kind of stepped up in that Big 12 championship game. For K-State fans that may not know a bunch about him, he's going to be an important part of your future. What would you say about him, and what they need to know?
Yeah, RJ, really good friend of mine. Super excited for him in that Big 12 championship game to kind of step up. And when Malik went down, a lot of people are outside of the program are kind of worried, but we just have that next man up mentality, and RJ is a really good player, and he's really crafty, and he can go up and make some really good grabs. He's got really good hands. So, and as you guys saw. So I'm really excited for his future. I know he's going to be a really good player, and he's still young. He's still got some time, and he's developing, and he's really coming into his own. He's had a really good offseason, this offseason, and I know he's going to do that again next year. So I'm looking forward to the future for him, and I think he could have a really big impact on this game too.
Across the offense, who are some of the younger guys you think we're going to be hearing more about in the near future?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of young guys that have been making some big impacts, and I think there's some guys up front that have been doing some really good things. We've been doing a lot of throughout bowl prep. We've had a lot of time to kind of do some developmental things and some young guys stuff. And I think Jaden Jackson's going to be a really good player for us in the future. I think we got some O linemen that are going to be really good. I think John Pastore is going to be a really good player. I think Drake Beckwith is going to be a really good player too. And I'm just letting this listen a few, but I'm excited for the future. I know we got a lot of really good players on the defense. Jacob Parrish, VJ Payne, like those guys are going to be studs for us over there. So I'm excited for the future. But obviously right now we're still worried about just the task at hand on Saturday and trying to focus on Bama, and then we'll get to that, in the off season and start worrying about that then. But I'm excited because we got a lot of young talent, and we're developing them really well.
When preparing for Alabama, is there a team that your preparation probably mirrors that they remind you of?
To me, I feel like it kind of reminds me a little bit of the LSU from last year. Just how they how they kind of are up front and how athletic they are. You know, it's the SEC kind of, you know, body types in front, you know, kind of how they kind of operate too. They do a lot of man coverage stuff. You know, they kind of want to say we're better than you, and you know, we're going to man you up and see, you know, see if you can win. And I kind of like that, you know, because it's a challenge, and it's like, you know, kind of man on man, you know, who's mano y mano, who's better. And we'll see, you know. I think we're up to the challenge. I believe in our receivers and our O-line, and it's going to be a lot of one-on-ones, and we always say that every week. It's, you know, who's going to win their one-on-ones and who's going to come out on top. So I'm looking forward to it.
Will, from your perspective, how much differently have defenses, especially in the secondary, defending you guys with Ben Sinnott catching so many passes at tight end? I assume they're maybe giving you different looks now than they were, you know, when he was catching all those across the seam at Oklahoma.
Yeah, no doubt. It's hard when you got a guy like that, you know, to run true cover 3 and just let him run loose in the seam. You know, it feels like they, you know, have been trying to match him a little more and do some more things to, you know, kind of negate him a little bit. I know, you know, we tried to early in the game against KU, we tried to run just a one-on-one out route, and they zoned off his side just to kind of try and take him out of the picture a little bit, and just little things like that, you know, here and there, to try and you know, eliminate him from being one-on-one, because when he's one-on-one, it's hard to defend, you know, and he's a beast, man. I love just if he's in a one-on-one situation, I'm gonna bet on him every time, just like all of our other receivers. But you know, he can just big man people and kind of go out there and use his big frame and his big body and his athleticism to kind of win those matchups.